Sunday painter.
I want to introduce you to an artist you may have not heard of. Pietro Annigoni. In this short video, we will take a quick look at an art just to pique your curiosity to learn about a new art and a new way of seeing. For more art information like this, subscribe to the Sunday Painter and hit the little bell so you know when I post a new art-related video. Also, you can leave a name of an artist you would like to know more about in the comments. So, who is Pietro Annigoni and how learning about their art may change how you do yours? Pietro Annigoni is a new artist to me. I love learning a new artist and looking into their paintings. His work is painted with a Renaissance tradition, contrasting with the modernist style that prevailed in his time. For me, looking at his work I find it very solid and exacting, true to Italian Renaissance portraiture. Teachers that teach portraiture tell their students to find a likeness, come as close as you can to what you see. Annigoni painted what he's seen, hitting the mark every time. What I call painting the truth in his portraits. A great painter, so let's learn more about Annigoni. Born in Milan in 1910, Annigoni was influenced by the Italian Renaissance. From the end of the 1920s on, he lived mainly in Florence where he studied at the College of the Piarist Fathers. An Italian artist, portrait and fresco painter, best known for his portraits of Queen Elizabeth II. He also painted religious works, including frescoes in Italian churches, and ambitious allegorical scenes, and he regarded these as more important than his portraits. He was internationally known for his portraits including society and state figures, Pope John XXIII, and President John F. Kennedy. Annigoni was chosen by Time magazine to paint President John F. Kennedy for the 5th of January, 1962 Person of the Year cover. In 1947, Annigoni co-founded the modern realist painters to continue traditions of Renaissance painting techniques as opposed to abstract art of the mid-20th century. Annigoni exhibited internationally at institutions such as the Upper Grosvenor Galleries in London, the Galerie Beaux Arts in Paris, and the Brooklyn Museum among others. In 1927, he was admitted to the Academy of Fine Arts in Florence, where he attended the courses given by Felice Carina in painting, Giuseppe Graziosi in sculpture, and Celestino Celestini in etching. He enrolled in the nude class run by the Florentine Circolo degli Artisti, while attending the open class in the same subject at the Academy. Exhibiting his work for the first time in Florence in 1930 with a group of painters. He had his first individual exhibition 2 years later, in 1932 at the Bellini Gallery in the Palazzo Ferroni. Also in 1932, he won the Trenacosta Prize. He made lasting friendships with promising young people from the world of literature and art and, right in the studio of the sculptor Mario Pari, he met Anna Magini, then a student of the conservatory, with whom he married in 1937. He married Anna Giuseppa Magini until her death of illness in July 1969. They had 2 children, Benedetto and Maria Ricciarda. In 1976 he married Rosella Segreto, also a favorite model of the artist. Between 1945 to 1950, Annigoni produced a succession of important and very successful works. In 1947, he signed the Manifesto of Modern Realist Painters. In this manifesto the group, which consisted of 7 painters, came out in open opposition to abstract art and the various movements that had sprung up in Italy in these years. An outspoken artist, Annigoni wrote essays challenging modern art that disregarded the basic ability to draw. He alienated critics, who claimed his art was too representational, discounting the unique dramatic signature the artist brought to Renaissance tradition. In March 1949, the Committee of the Royal Academy in England accepted the works Annigoni offered for its annual exhibition. It was the artist's first experience with England and the beginning of a success which was to acquire worldwide dimensions. He started showing his work internationally in the 1950s. His work bore the influence of Italian Renaissance portraiture, and was in contrast to the modernist and postmodernist artistic styles that dominated the middle and late 20th century. He had a series of paintings, made during trips and walks in the countryside, shows a rare talent in capturing the deepest aspect of nature, which he manages to interpret with extreme sensitivity. Annigoni created a large number of drawings and works that reflect his world, portraits of friends, people he met in taverns or on the street, interiors, and still lives. His style reflects an eclectic attitude. There is a bit of Dalí in his surreal backgrounds, A little of Caravaggio and the chiaroscuro of some works, and also Maxfield Parrish and the lightness of his feminine faces. While doing research on Annigoni, I came across a YouTube video of him mixing his tempera and painting direct to his canvas. A rare treat. You can see this video by looking up Pietro Annigoni 1961. Let's take a look at what is tempera. Tempera, also known as egg tempera, is a permanent, fast-drying painting medium consisting of colored pigments mixed with a water-soluble binder medium, usually glutinous material such as egg yolk. Mixing into dry pigments such as red or blue. Tempera also refers to the paintings done in this medium. Tempera paintings are very long-lasting, and examples from the 1st century AD still exist. Egg tempera was a primary method of painting until after 1500s, when it was superseded by oil painting. In the video, Annigoni shows us his formula for tempera. He takes just the yolk of the egg, adding an oil plus a little varnish. But what I thought was interesting was he added a little wine to the pigment. He said it keeps the tempera from going bad. I thought that was great to learn. It goes on to show the master painting a portrait. I have studied tempera painting, and they used a cross-hatching technique with many layers because the tempera dries so fast. In the video he paints the tempera like oils, which I found very interesting. He paints very quickly, blocking in color before it has time to dry. This reminds me of how you paint frescoes, which he also did. Let's learn a little about fresco painting. Fresco painting techniques is like Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling. The name fresco, or fresh in Italian, stems from the practice of painting with a mix of water and pigment onto freshly laid wall plaster. As the lime-based plaster dries in the air, carbonation fuses the pigment particles within the plaster. As such, the fresco painting technique actually increases the integrity of the wall and the painted image. There is no one fresco art definition. There are 3 different types of fresco painting with differing methods of adhering pigment to the wall plaster. Buon or true fresco artists paint with a pigment-water mixture directly onto the freshly applied lime plaster. Secco fresco painting uses pigment mixed with a binder on a dry plaster canvas. Finally, the mezzo fresco painting is somewhere in the middle of the previous 2. Artists creating mezzo frescoes paint on plaster that is almost dry. I'll do an in-depth fresco and tempera video later, but the one thing I do know about fresco is you have to paint very fast and paint to a finish in small areas before it has time to dry. If you mess up, you have to scrape the section down and start over. When looking at Annigoni paints, that is the feel I get when he paints. Please look for that video to understand more. With all things there comes an end. Annigoni had emergency surgery due to a perforated ulcer, and he did not recover fully from the ailment. He was rushed to the hospital in Florence on October 27, 1988, and died of kidney failure on 28 October. He is buried in the Porte Sante, Holy Doors, cemetery at the Basilica di San Miniato al Monte, overlooking his beloved Florence. Here's a quote from Annigoni: "Impulse alone does not make a work of art. The emotional states which a painter or other artist feels irresistibly forced to express are those most intimate states of mind and soul from which may be struck the spark of revelation, kindling a light that shows things in their deepest, most universal, and perhaps even eternal reality. This light we may call the light of poetry." Hope you enjoyed this short documentary. There is always more to Pietro Annigoni, and I hope this sparks your curiosity. For more art video and related art subjects, subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to look outstanding and get your quality custom distressed artist tees. The link is in the description below. Don't miss out. You may find something you like or a gift for someone nowhere else in the world. Be unique. Please leave a positive comment. Have a great day and thanks for watching.